I call upon Professor Amir Paz-Fuchs, Head of the Department of Law, to present Marcus Hayes.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, graduates, family, friends, colleagues. I first met Marcus Hayes in my early days at Sussex, when I was the law school's employability lead. My initial impression was of a man who was extremely bright, passionate, irreverent, and slightly scary. Over the years, however, I've met him on numerous occasions and have grown to know him much better. So now I find him extremely bright, passionate, irreverent, and slightly scary. What I've always found most fascinating about Marcus is his complexity. He manages to showcase the unique combination of compassion and commitment to support and assist those who face significant challenges, on the one hand, and the expectation of excellence, a can-do attitude, and a rejection of laziness, on the other. As an exercise in couch psychology, one may wonder if his biography has at least helped the formation of his approach to life. Marcus was the first in his family to go to university, and to his credit, he very early on made the right choice, the law school at the University of Sussex, 1984 to 1987. Through grind and talent and extremely high expectations from himself, he rose to the top of the legal profession, heading an award-winning law firm, Mason Hayes, which was shortlisted for the Law Society Excellence Award at the National Law Society Excellence Awards, a finalist at the Manchester Legal Awards for Law Firm of the Year, and winner of the award for Best Niche Commercial Law Firm at the SME Awards. Marcus himself was shortlisted 3 times out of over 130,000 practicing solicitors in England and Wales for the category of Private Practice Solicitor of the Year at the National Law Society Excellence Awards. In 2015, he finished runner-up in that category. Chancellor, this is just a taste of the formal awards and recognition that Marcus has received for his professional excellence. But he wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for his dedication, commitment, and work on a very different front. For over 15 years, Marcus has positioned himself as a crusader for the cause of equality, inclusion, and diversity in the legal profession, particularly but not exclusively with respect to disability. He has campaigned on behalf of people on the autistic spectrum within the legal profession, the political realm, and wider society. Supporting first-generation scholars not solely as a matter of principle, but as a personal commitment, he established a charitable trust towards that end, has developed and has been running a flagship work experience program, offered university prizes, and developed skills and employability masterclasses. He drives down from Manchester a number of times a year, sleeps in a bunk bed in a youth hostel, now that may be an exaggeration, to join us on our modules and explain to students how commercial law operates in practice. His commitment and achievements have been recognized in the Queen's Birthday Honours List when he was awarded an MBE for his services to law and to education. In his professional excellence, his passion, his heart, his commitment to social justice, and his work on behalf of those who can benefit from his support, Marcus embodies the Sussex ethos and spirit. So it is only fitting that, Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of laws, honoris causa, Marcus David Hayes.
Some formal words. By the authority of the Senate of the University, it gives me a great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Many congratulations. Absolutely. What a wonderful journey.
Brilliant.
Wasn't it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Faculty of Law, parents, families and friends, and most importantly of all, of course, all of you, graduates. It is simply wonderful to have this opportunity to share this occasion with all of you today who are graduating and to see the pride and happiness on every one of your faces and those of your families and friends in the audience. I would also like to thank, of course, the university for the presentation of this honorary degree to me. This recognition is truly, truly humbling, and to be thought to hold the same values and to be guided by the same ambitions and aspirations as this university is without question one of the highlights of my own life, albeit it's very hard today to find the right words to express my appreciation and gratitude for the honour that Sussex has bestowed upon me. I would also like to thank you in particular, Emir. Thank you very, very much indeed for your very kind and flattering words about me today. And as you've all heard, my own journey began here several decades ago. I was right here, in this room, at the Brighton Centre, at a graduation ceremony much like this in the summertime, watched by my two incredibly, albeit then, silent parents, to receive my own law degree. But looking back at the young person I was when I graduated, though, is, as you can probably now imagine, a slightly uncomfortable experience for the 60-year-old man that young person has now become. But I've asked myself what I wished I would have known when I graduated and the important lessons I've learned in the years that have expired from that day to this. And in the few minutes I have in which to speak to you, I've essentially come up with one main answer: the absolute crucial importance of failure. Now that might seem like a very strange and indeed contradictory choice today, especially when your own successes and achievements are quite rightly being celebrated, honoured and recognised. But just bear with me for a moment, because what I feared most at your age was failure itself. But by the age of 37, it's fair to say that by any conventional measure, I had failed on an epic scale. I had failed to realise my then lifetime ambition of being elected to Parliament. And at the same time, I'd decided to leave my job in a large national law firm and establish my own legal business, which by anyone's admission at the time wasn't going particularly well, either legally or financially. Understandably, my wife, my family, my friends, my business associates, and yes, even my bank manager wondered what the hell I was doing. I was stressed, frustrated, and I was actually embarrassed by my own lack of success. But I'm here today to tell you I did turn things around. My legal business became award-winning and has represented clients in places as diverse as Macedonia, South Africa, and the Dutch Antilles. My bank manager is now actually speaking to me again. And whilst I didn't get elected to Parliament, I have worked with government nevertheless over the years on a range of legal and commercial law reforms, as well as with government, Sussex, the Law Society, and other institutions on a variety of charitable initiatives, when I found my own campaigning voice, helped by Marina and Andrea and Barbara and others at Sussex, on issues relating to disability, health, social mobility, diversity and inclusion. But my simple lesson to you all today is that it doesn't matter how far you might rise. At some point you are bound to stumble, because it's impossible to live without failing at something. Unless you live so cautiously, you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you've simply failed by default. So given the time machine, I'd tell myself at my own graduation that life and success in it isn't just about hard work, but being able to survive the hardships and difficulties when they come, and never, ever giving up. As the first person in my own family to go to university, I certainly didn't come from privilege, or indeed have access to networks that would help open doors for me, or at the very least, tell me what doors I should walk through. I didn't have connections in high places or a clear route map into the legal profession I now call my home. And yet, here I am today, not because my path was easy, but because I refused to accept other people's narratives about who I could be or how far I could go, and I never, ever, ever gave up. So always remember that the enemy of your Sussex education is the phrase, I give up. It's never, ever, I give up. Make up your mind, find out what you want to do, establish your place in the world, and engage with the very, very issues that now confront our society, such as the legal and ethical dilemmas of AI that only a few years ago were purely science fiction. And when you confront these very issues, challenges, and choices, always take inspiration from those that have taught you at Sussex, such as Jeanette Ashton and Joe Wilson, from your parents, families, and friends, and from this very university itself, to ensure that you go out into the world and make a real and positive difference and contribution. The truth, of course, about your Sussex education is that it's all about ensuring each one of you gets the chance to fulfill your promise and potential in order to become the best versions of yourselves that you all can be. That is what this university does. That is what Sussex tries to manufacture and achieve. The solid foundations upon which I've been able to build my own life have essentially come from this very, very place. Sussex helped me develop the idea that one's role in life was to try and do something and give something back. That idea fundamentally came from Sussex, and I instantly realised when I came to Brighton from the small Worcestershire town of Stourport-on-Severn that this university was going to be a pivotal place that would help me become who I wanted to be. But of course, for all of you in the sea of faces looking up at me today, young, eager, and clever, it's yet another closing chapter in your young lives with the conclusion of this ceremony. Your next chapter now awaits you, a clean sheet, a clean page to inscribe your dreams and desires upon, and yet another peak to challenge yourselves again and to dream and to dare. The degree that you've all earned today from this quite remarkable institution will stand you in great stead wherever your personal journeys take you. Be proud of who you are and what you have achieved, and let the things you are passionate about be what defines you. The lessons, of course, you've all gained from Sussex, both academically and in life, will continue to be far more precious and far more useful in your forthcoming journeys than you all yet realise. This place, this university, has already shaped you in ways that you will only fully appreciate as your own journeys begin to unfold. And in that respect, I also hope that each one of you gets as much future enjoyment as I have had from everything you have absorbed from this university and from what I know will be the enduring friendships you have made. But also remember too on your future journeys as you depart from Sussex to learn about the imposter syndrome. And when you have, resist it with all of your hearts, because on your future journeys you will encounter plenty of people who want to diminish you. So don't do it for them. And even if you won't, remember this speech in a few seconds' time of barely a few minutes from a rather old, middle-aged, incredibly bald man. Then at least take away with you today the words, the wisdom, and the advice of the Roman philosopher Seneca, who said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is that matters." Your future is therefore whatever you make of it, because it hasn't been written yet. Continue to dream big, take the inevitable failures in your stride, and never, ever, ever give up. Because positive intention without positive action only leads, quite simply, to positively nothing. And if I may, I want to finish with a few brief of thanks, because nobody, of course, achieves anything in life alone. So to my wife, Catherine, sat in the audience today, who has been a constant source of unstinting support and inspiration over many, many, many years, often to the detriment of her own aspirations and ambitions, I owe absolutely everything, everything to you, my darling, darling girl. You don't know how tricky that was. And of course, to my own parents. There are many proud parents here today in the audience, and I expect many, like my own parents, will have done a great deal to help you get to this wonderful moment this afternoon. So once again, congratulations to you all. Thank you for allowing me to share in your graduation ceremony. And in return, I wish each and every one of you happy, peaceful, successful, but most importantly of all, bloody, bloody good lives. Thank you very much.